Hey everybody, I just want to say wow and thank you for this incredible and chaotic event that we had this week. I'm still off gas a little bit here, so bear with me. But I wanted to do a quick video just on the front end of this longer video to share with you a little bit of what happened this weekend and why we did this. Scottsdale Tactical had their open house on Saturday, and Angelo, the owner, came to me and said, hey, now that I'm opening my new doors to this new space he's got, he wants to open it up to the community. And I said, okay, let's do it. And of course, as we got into the planning, just in the last 3 weeks, that's all this was, we had a month of planning basically. We ended up having we believe, somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 people showed up to our headquarters between Scottsdale Tactical, Haley Strategic, and Fuller Phoenix. We had over 40 vendors come out. We had just an amazing show. There's so many different people from the community. What it did for us is our intentions, by the way, was not to make a consumer show. This was not to make money or not to do transactions. It was about relations. It wasn't a trade show, an industry show. We told all the vendors and everybody coming out, like, this is about community. This is about showing up, and when everybody has a lot of concerns about the world and the state of affairs, our liberties right now, a lot of people might say, I'll just wait till somebody else steps up. I think that's a bad idea, and I say that in my speech that you might see here in a little bit. And I think a better idea is to create a community. That was the sole purpose of doing this. And so again, I just want to say thank you to everybody that came out. And all the prizes and all the raffles and all the donations and everything, and Sheriff Mark Lamb for coming out and giving his speech to the community and sharing what he's up to and how to help this state be a better state to contribute to a free country. So thank you to all those people. And if you came here and you waited in line, I get it. It was a long wait. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for having the city of Scottsdale fine us for backing up the interstate for 3.5 miles. Keep the fines coming. I'll pay them all day long, man. It doesn't matter for us. We just are so excited to have a community this strong and this huge, and it gives us hope and it gives us confidence for our future. If you saw the lines and you were deterred a little bit, man, I get it. I'm sorry. I know people have places to be, but next year, I promise you, you will have a seat at the table. I promise. We're going to find a new venue and keep this community growing, guys. So again, thank you. And I just want to show you a little bit of what happened at the show. So enjoy. heard me talk about this concept of the world's population of 8 billion people. Well, what's unique about that is there's only 4.5% of that entire population that has something very unique. And that is right here, right? What you're seeing right now. You're seeing that 4.5% has freedom. A true, unique, experimental freedom. A bunch of guys got together and said, hey, we're gonna do this. And we still have it. I know we have questions. I know we have concerns. And I know I've heard a lot of people say, well, I'll just act, I'll just voice, I'll do whatever it takes when I see somebody else stand up and do it. Their idea is this, what this guy created, what he stimulated, is community. Community first, and then you're not by yourself, are you? But that community is so important to us right now, and everybody asks, what do we do? This right here. When's the last time we came together and actually had an event, or learned from each other, or trained with each other, or just loved each other, man? That's what the world's about, because that's the first attribute of a warrior is compassion. Come on. Why? Because the more you care about something, the harder you're going to fight for it. Do you agree with that? Yeah. It's like if I try to come in your house and hurt somebody in your family, and you harmed me or killed me, why did you do it? Not because of an evil intention, because you care about something so much more precious than that person that made a wrong decision on the wrong night, potentially. I think that's important. And then being vulnerable is the second attribute to a warrior. Coming together like this, letting our guard down and understanding who we are as a community and how nobody's gonna mess with us as Americans. And that's one thing my grandfather taught me and my father taught me before they left this world. My dad 5 months ago, and he taught me that wars are not what you think. And freedom is not built from men storming beaches, airplanes and ships going across oceans, tanks riding across deserts, dudes like us kicking doors, saving people, not even with briefcases of bullshit money and intelligence operations. That's not how we get freedom. And he said, you get freedom by living free. Community is the only thing that combats division. You guys didn't come here because you just want products. You didn't come here because you want cool, well, some of you guys came here just for guns. But, I get it. But you guys didn't come here because you're fanboys or you just want to have cool gear or get to even meet people or see people you haven't seen in a long time. You didn't come here because of what we built. Not what Angelo and his team built, not what I built. You're here because of what we stand for. And that's why I ask you, how much do you love freedom? And what would you be willing to do for it? And I think that's what scares the shit out of everybody right now. Is like, well, what do we do? Again, I come back to community. And a lot of people will say, you know, when I do outros or I do a speech or something or I do a video, I tend to say what? Stay sharp, be safe, and die free. I say stay sharp because it's just like a pencil or just like a knife. You got to sharpen it in order to use it, right? So if I gave that pencil or knife emotions, you as a human being, what would happen when it got stuck into a sharpener? It would hurt. And I think that's the problem, is people don't understand that pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. I tell you to be safe, not because to be risk adverse, not to not take risk. I tell you to do dangerous crap carefully, right? That's what I teach my kids. I know you're gonna go out and do something, so do it carefully. All right, that's what we need to do. And when I say die free, well, why do I say die free? Because if you died free, what does that mean? That means you live free. That means you live free. And I promise you that I will die free. And I know you will too. So for our children's sake, for our city's sake, our community's sake, our country's sake, the free world, I hope you stay sharp, be safe, and die free. So thank you all for coming. I want to introduce our guest speaker today. Again, a man that probably doesn't need any introduction. But I'll tell you what, I could not say how proud I am of him for not only being a friend, but for putting foot to ask for our country and to help us navigate. We'd be in big trouble. So I would argue that he's probably one of the best sheriffs in American history. And I not only want to introduce Sheriff Mark Lamb to the stage, but
your soon-to-be senator of the great state of Arizona. Sheriff, come on, Jim.
Give another hand to this guy and to Angelo. What a great event today. Not only does this man serve our country, he continues to serve us. He continues to be out there on the forefront of what we love as Americans. I have loved being here today and means so many of you because you are the America that I believe in. Patriots who love God, family, and freedom. And that's what I'm grateful for. Look, I tell you, people ask me all the time, what's it like being in law enforcement now, and with the way the media is, politicians, with the way that society looks at us. And I tell people all the time, look, 98% of the people we deal with are good people, decent people, normal people. Sometimes we got to hold a few of them accountable. 1% deserve to be in jail. And the other percent deserve to never see the light of day again. And half of that percent need to get out of politics. So I'm here with you guys, brothers in arms, and I'm an American just like you. Look, this is not a political speech. This is about supporting great businesses, American businesses, supporting this country, supporting the Second Amendment. We cannot give up on the Second Amendment. I'm going to tell you a story. Some of you may have heard me tell it before. It's Aesop's fable. For those of you a little bit older, you know your parents used to read you these fables. They don't always end well. But there was a lion who fell in love with a farmer's daughter. And that lion, the farmer was very concerned, and he was very trepid about having this lion date his daughter because he had sharp teeth and he had sharp claws. And so one day he comes to the lion, he says, look, I just don't love you dating my daughter because you could hurt her with those teeth and claws. And he says, no, my teeth and claws are to protect your daughter. So they start going along in their relationship. Eventually, he falls completely in love with this girl. He goes to the dad and says, hey, I want to marry your daughter. And the farmer says, you can marry my daughter on one condition. You remove your teeth and claws. So the lion goes home, he thinks about it, and finally he loves his daughter so much, he says, okay, I'm going to remove my teeth and claws. Comes back a few days later, shows up to the farmer and says to the farmer, look, I removed my teeth and my claws. The farmer picked up a club and clubbed him to death. The moral to the story is, never give up your teeth and claws. That is the Second Amendment. I'm going to tell you one more story that you've heard me speak. I love this story. And I think it embodies what Americans are and the sacrifices and the spirit that we have in all of us and what we need now in this country more than ever. It's the story of General Mad Anthony Wayne, who was General Washington's favorite general. They had lost a fort called Stony Point. The war was not going good. They were losing. Their men were tired. They were hungry. They were cold. They wanted to go home. And George Washington comes to General Anthony and says, hey, you don't have the resources, but do you think you can take back this fort? And General Mad Anthony Wayne says, sir, you issue the order and I'll storm hell. So they put this plan together. They decide they're going to attack at night, but they don't have all the Haley strategic equipment like we do now, right? No night vision, no nothing. So what they do is they put a white band around their hats, they put white feathers, they put bayonets on their guns, and they don't even put balls in their guns. The reason why, if one of them tripped, they would alert the English they were coming. And when they finally started to attack, they attacked at night. The balls do start to fly. General Mad Anthony Wayne gets hit in the head. You can imagine what kind of leadership we have in this country now. They'd cut, tell, and run. Luckily it wasn't fatal. He gets up, they continue to push forward, and they take the fort back, capturing 550 English and only losing 13 Americans in that war, in that battle. But what was important was the letter he wrote to General Washington at 2 a.m. in the morning. And he put on there, General Washington, 2 lines, General Washington, the fort and garrison with Colonel Johnston is ours. Our officers and our men behave like men who are determined to be free. So my question is to you, will we behave like men and women determined to be free, or will we continue to stand by as we lose our freedoms every single day? I am determined to be free. Yeah. And I will tell you, I'm here to support my friends today, but I will also tell you, if you ask me, I'm here to tell you, sirs, madams, you issue the order and I'll storm hell back in Washington, D.C. for you. So, let's go! Yeah. Thank you.